My name is Shanda Kakafutai. I'm the Acting Secretary, Probation and Aftercare Service. Today we gather not merely to mark a date, but also to affirm a powerful idea that justice is most meaningful when it restores, not when it merely punishes. When it rebuilds lives, not when it writes them off. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a saying that a society is judged not by how it treats its strongest members, but how it treats those at their weakest. And that's an important area you need to note, because we know offenders are vulnerable. Today, we stand together to affirm that in Kenya, we choose restoration over rejection, hope over despair, and reintegration over exclusion. The global community has long recognized this path. The United Nations Standard Minimum Rules on Non-Custodial Measures, the torture rules, remind us that community participation is essential. Community participation is essential in fostering rehabilitation, reintegration, and preventing reoffending. More profoundly, the Children Declaration on Community Frontiers supporting offender reintegration calls upon all nations to recognize the vital role of community frontiers as partners in justice. It affirms that frontiers stand side by side with offenders, not as enforcers, but as fellow citizens, offering guidance, building trust, and restoring dignity. This declaration carries a simple but transformative message. No one should be left behind in this business. This declaration, ladies and gentlemen, Kenya has taken this message to their heart. Through probation and aftercare service and in strong partnership with JICA, we have institutionalized community probation frontiers as a central pillar of our correctional system, borrowing widely from the Japanese Ongo system. This is not a peripheral initiative. It is a bold and deliberate reform that places communities at the heart of justice. And indeed, when the community is involved, justice becomes human. When justice becomes human, transformation becomes possible. Our community probation frontiers embody this transformation. They give their time, their resources, their wisdom, and their compassion, not for reward, but for the greater good. They work with offenders through difficult journeys, offering guidance when needed, encouragement when scarce, and accountability when required. They remind us of another enduring truth. It takes a village not only to raise a child, but also to restore a life. The progress we have made in both encouraging is commendable. Across our pilot regions, we have successfully trained and formally appointed 604 community frontier probation officers. I'm sorry to say we lost one. We are 603. May his soul rest in peace. Through their dedicated service, we are witnessing enhanced supervision outcomes, greater community acceptance, and more effective reintegration of offenders into the society. This positions Kenya as a leader not only in Africa, but globally in advancing community-driven correctional practices. Today's commemoration now in its second year, and the first of its own kind at this scale in Africa, is therefore a historic milestone. It is a declaration to the world that Kenya believes in second chances, and that our communities are ready to be active partners in building safer and more cohesive societies. One of the greatest barriers to reintegration is stigma. When society labels and excludes, and it creates a very conditions that leads to reoffending. But when the society embraces support, it creates pathways to change. Let us therefore affirm today that every individual has the capacity to change. 2, Every person deserves a second chance. And 3, every community has a role to play in restoring lives. These are not just wording, they are principles that guide our actions. The public procession which we witness today is therefore more than a symbolic act. It is a statement of solidarity. It is a call to the people of Siaya and to the nation at large to open their hearts and reduce stigma and also support the integration efforts. As a government, we remain steadfast in our commitment to strengthening non-custodial measures, advancing restorative justice, and expanding community-based corrections. We will continue to build partnerships, invest in innovation, and align our practices with international standards. Because we firmly believe that true public safety is not achieved through punishment alone, but through rehabilitation, reintegration, and prevention of crime. Currently, as we are talking, we have 62,515 offenders who are serving their various offenses within the community across the 148 stations in the country. As a department, we have 148 stations, we have 47 counties, and we have 8 regional offices and 9 probation institutions. And all those deal with the managing those non-custodial offenders, whom I've said they are 62,515. When you talk about offender management, we deal with what we call non-custodial offender management. These are offenders who are serving their sentences within the community, and also those who have been released on license by those statutory government agencies, and also by His Excellency the President through the power of mercy. And also we also do what we call crime prevention. As we have had our officers articulating, we do what we call social crime prevention. We want to address the crime before it occurs, and that's why we are involved in undertaking serious activities and with the communities, with the schools and the other agencies in order to deal with the matters of crime prevention.
As we go around, we are creating safer, crime-free communities and also creating an enabling environment for our clients, our reforming offenders. All right, CIA. All ensure we have crime-free communities.
penal institutions, release boards, and committees. The community probation volunteers are also engaged in various crime prevention activities within the communities, as well as 114 non-custodial offenders in various categories. The community